Hello, everyone. Our next speaker is well known to the Integrate attendees. However, to all of our new joinees and people who were unfortunate not to meet Nino yet, I would like to introduce Nino Crudele, who is well known for his passion towards technology, especially integration. He's also an Azure MVP with expertise in BizTalk and cloud technologies. Also, something recent about Nino is that he is now a certified hacker. So please keep your laptops and phones with you at all times. Today he came to talk to you about Microsoft integration, the good, the bad, and the chicken way. Please welcome Nino Crudele.
Hi, hello, hi guys. So here we are, the session. I don't know what I'm going to speak about. And I think even Microsoft, the guys, all people are scared about that because they don't have any control about my person. They don't know what I'm going to speak during the session, everything like that. So yes, I'm certified ethical hacker. Finally, after 2 months of study, and I was back home to my wife and say, "Grazie, I'm ethical hacker." My wife. Say what? Ethical? You? The same did Sandro Pereira, exactly the same thing. But anyway, keep going. So yeah, I'm a Bistol guy. I was a Bistol guy. It's very, do you remember this kind of stuff? Yeah, that was me. Bistol Grinch, Bitsy, all this kind of stuff, and the famous Brad Pitt of integration. I don't have time to explain each story, but it's really fun stuff, honestly. And Microsoft know about that very well. What is good about BizTalk is that people working BizTalk cannot be normal at all. We know that. This is my friend, dear friend Paolo Salvatore. All BizTalk guys know Paolo everywhere. We work a lot together on BizTalk in Italy and everything. So look at the face about these two guys. You think are normal, these guys? No, they are not normal at all. So, but anyway, the good thing about BizTalk is that if you look about the BizTalk, how many BizTalk guys in the room? Yeah! How many Azure guy? Okay, all BizTalk guys hit the Azure guy, and we solved the integration problem. That's it, today. In this room. But anyway, the good thing about BizTalk, I'm sure you agree, that using BizTalk, we learn how to hack technology. So we hack BizTalk, to get better integration, everything. So this is good. This is amazing. Something about BizTalk I like to say is, Nino, now you are a kind of Azure guy now. Yeah, I'm working for Hexagon. It's a big, massive company, global, 30,000 employees. We have a lot of stuff in Azure. Serious stuff, guys. I'm saying very serious stuff. And my role is leading the cloud. I provide any kind of support about Azure at 360 level. It can be for the CEO, for management and governance, costing, to the technical stuff, best practice, any kind of things. So it was a very tough journey for me because when I joined the Hexagon, I was an integration guy. I was not even able to understand what Azure really was, okay? So I need to study a lot, everything like that. But if I need to say something about BizTalk, in my opinion, BizTalk is still the top option for very extensive and complex on-premise hybrid scenario. This is my personal opinion. Some people can agree, some people cannot. But this is what I'm seriously thinking. So let me think now about back to Azure. This is a kind of my story. This is my personal story. And you will learn a lot. So be ready, because in the next slide I will be very fast, but something I'm going to give you are really good advices, something that I learned on the field about Microsoft Azure. So what is really important to be a good Microsoft Azure guy, right? Something you really need to know. So what do you need to do to avoid side effect? First thing, when I started looking in this journey was about, a technical guy, so start looking about technical stuff, any kinds of, is the technology perspective in your mind, because you're a technical guy, so this was, my idea of. But honestly, technology was not the big challenge for me, absolutely not. about Microsoft Azure. The big challenge for me was different things. I will tell you more. Why not technology? I give you an example. This is the room of my son, Ricardo. He's 13 years old. Okay, it looks scary, the room, different color, everything like that. But to give you an example, last week I asked Ricardo in the room, what are you doing, Ricardo? Daddy, I'm developing video games. I mean, I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm using Scratch. You know Scratch, the cat, they're using in school, everything like that. I can help you. No, I'm using Unity. Okay. And what else? Yeah, I'm Unity. And Visual Studio, C#, I'm using JavaScript for the object collision. Okay, whatever. Maybe you can help me on Azure. That's crazy, guys, but that's true. That's true. I mean, technology now, is able to offer you everything, anything you need. And people really, especially young people, they are really good about technology. So the main problem for me, it was something that I was not aware about anything in Azure. And this is something you need to care about. Even if you have a big solution, a small solution, doesn't matter. It is governance. That's it. You need to know about Azure governance. So Azure governance is a massive topic. In my opinion, it's the most complex topic you can face in Microsoft Azure. So I was thinking yesterday how I'm going to define Azure governance to the guys. A very clear idea about understanding. People speaking about governance, Azure governance. What exactly is Azure governance? In my mind, start thinking about, governance, after these 2 years of bloodbath, everything, what is governance? Governance is everything. It's everything. This is my best definition about Azure governance. Do you remember the film Matrix? This is the best definition for me about Azure governance. Governance is everything. It's all around us, even in this very conference room. When you log in Azure, when you spin up a virtual machine, when you create a logic app, everything, right? So is this, usually the last sentence, it is the real world that was pulled over eyes to blind you from the truth. What the truth is? The truth is that without Azure governance, you cannot even think about using Microsoft Azure. That is a statement. Period. Okay? So, starting from the point is what exactly you need to do and you need to know and you need to avoid when you using Azure and about Azure governance. First of all is avoiding chicken way. You need to avoid chicken way. What exactly is the chicken way? Many of you maybe already know, many others not, but the chicken way essentially is I love do kayaking. In kayak, you face a waterfall. You need to cross a waterfall. You have 3 ways. One is the bad, like I'm not going to do that at all, okay? There is the good. You're going to face the waterfall. And there is the chicken way. Essentially, you get the lead and go down the rock. So you can tell to the friend, I did it. It was the chicken way, okay? Which maybe looks safer, okay? But essentially is not. Because you go down for the rock, everything like that, you struggle, all this kind of stuff. So avoid the chicken way. You need to be brave and face the waterfall, okay? This is everywhere, even with the rafting. Essentially, this picture is a real picture for real life. I don't know if you recognize the guys in this picture, but that's real. I'm not kidding, guys. This is me laughing, as always. This is Thor Nolgar, which is screaming. This is Sandro, totally scared. And this is Lex Hag, that I think he's telling to Sandro, we are going to die today. I'm pretty sure about that. It was scary. That was the Voss in Norway, very scary river. That's really crazy stuff. So anyway, first of all, you need to know about Azure Scaffold. Azure Scaffold is the basic principle about Microsoft Azure. What is really important inside Microsoft Azure. 2 years ago, this was the Azure Scaffold representation from Microsoft. Okay? You can see here the most important topic about Microsoft Azure, everything like that. And after a while, I think in this year, they update this in this one, which is, as you can see, something new happened. You see it's coming cost management, identity access, and monitoring and alert, and also this subscription group, which is not exactly a subscription group, is a management group. Okay? What exactly is management group and how Azure works inside? When you create a contract with Microsoft, they create an enterprise agreement, they create an account, and they give you a subscription. Okay? Inside your agreement, you have a management group, which is the root management group. On top of everything, inside there is a subscription. And inside the subscription, you're going to organize your resource group and tags. You need to keep in mind this kind of structure in Microsoft Edge. How it works management group, that's critical. If you don't use management group in Azure, that's not good at all. Okay? This is very bad governance. This is the root management group at the top. You create different management group and you organize different subscriptions. These are inside management group. The good point is that you can set policy and security internally in management group. You can also control cost in this way. Okay, directly from the portal, you can check the cost, everything like that. So it's a good way, you know, to organize your security, everything. Also about the policy, okay? Policy is a very important topic because policy is something that you're going to apply in Azure, no? To tell people, no, you cannot do that, right? So how policy works? Policy works in a way that disable always win. So you disable the policy first and you enable later, right? So which is good. Fine. So the point is the root management is this one, which is going to depend all you see on the bottom. Okay, so when you disable a policy, you need to disable a policy here and enable when you need to enable. Okay? The dark point about that is that if you have a different, think about enterprise now, you have different agreement, different stuff, everything, all of them under the same tenant. If you disable a policy, you're going to disable a policy in the entire level, everywhere, okay? We are actually working with Microsoft on that because in a situation like my situation, it's going to be a problem, this kind of thing, okay? But it's something you really need to know. Second thing you need to know about role and user, okay? This is the three main role about Azure. You have the owner, the reader, and the contributor, right? It's quite simple. Something people don't understand is nobody can be owner. That's it. Even you are an IT administrator, you cannot be owner. Okay? You can create two users, always two users as a owner inside your Azure infrastructure. Okay? But you cannot, you can use the ownership in delegation only. I'm going to explain you better why. Okay? The problem is that this is something that I learned quite quickly. Does exist a God in Azure governance? Yes or no? Yes, exists. Absolutely. He's a global admin. Okay? He is the God. For real, he is the God. Okay? He can do everything, anywhere. Okay? So he has access to everything. And most important is this one. You can see this option. You go in the directory properties and you enable this option here. Enable this option here, you are going to provide a full visibility to this user. Okay? I mean in the entire tenant. So if you have a different enterprise agreement, everything like that, this guy is going to see everything everywhere. Right? It's quite scary. I see face doing, yes, real, for real. So what the issue here, speaking about as a hacker, and speaking about, a kind of privilege escalation, that could be a quite dangerous stuff. So global admin is very dangerous user, okay? Nobody can have access to a password of the global admin. Nobody. So create the password, close the password somewhere, and use privilege identity management. So you give the permission for a specific user or something for a specific time, okay, to use a global admin. It can be even dangerous, okay, because you don't know, but okay. But this is the best way to do that. Second thing, try understanding Azure. I face a lot of challenge during these 2 years, everything I try understanding how Azure works. This is a very simple representation, but it's quite clear about how Azure works. So you have the portal, you have API, Azure API, which is going to speak with the orchestrator, and you have all the fabric controller that is going to control everything inside Azure. So what is, in your opinion, the most powerful layer in these slides? The API. I explain you why. Essentially, everything is running in Azure is running through API, okay? And they build a lot of stuff about API. You can access everywhere using API. You can do everything you want using Azure API. It's a massive, big infrastructure built by Microsoft to access and do everything inside Azure. So when I discovered this point, I say, what the heck? You know, I start hacking because this is my nature. I need to hack a system all the time. So when I join Azure, first thing I'm doing, I'm going to hack Azure. I'm going to hit Azure as much as I can, okay? And try understanding what is the best thing to do to get the best from Azure. So Azure API, honestly, is the top one. Why? First of all, speaking about what is the number one problem in Azure? Cost. Right? This is nothing new, okay? So don't worry, guys. I'm going to be very practical during this session. I give you a solution, not just blah, 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 okay? So cost. Cost is a massive problem, okay? So I started to think about me, to this guy, oh, I'm using this, I'm using that. I need to be sure I'm spending exactly this, exactly that. So first thing, I started looking about the tools. You have different tools in Azure. You have Cloudin. You have Azure Cost Management inside the portal. You have Power BI, okay? Good stuff. So I started building all these things and I organized a fantastic meeting with the financial team. I showed to the financial team all these kind of things. Hey, look at the diagram is going, subscription and all this kind of stuff. And these ladies all there looking at me all the day. At the end of the day, trust me, you can show anything you want to this lady, but the financial department love Excel. That's it. You can create any kind of crazy diagram all you want. They don't care at all. They want Excel, and this is right. Because this is how the financial department works, right? So first thing to do is go and hack, okay? Do you remember NOSADIN, when I created a NOSADIN for Bistock? Okay? That's a quite normal behavior in my mind. Start building something immediately, okay? Something that is able to keep this girl in a comfort zone. So I create an add-in for Excel and start putting stuff inside Excel, you know? Right? So the girl are happy. Open Excel. I have my Excel. No, yeah, wow, okay, cool, fantastic. So what exactly I did is inside the add-in, I'm going to use all the Azure API. Okay? I'm going to solve almost my problem, or anytime, you know, I'm going to reach this stuff, everything like that. So essentially, the lady, what is going to do? I give you a very simple example about the cost. The lady is going to click, billing parameter. They can even define how the department are organized inside the company. Okay? It looks simple or stupid or something. Say, okay, they're organizing the department. No, this is very important, guys, because something I face in my experience is I want to organize by department, things like that. And yeah, Microsoft Azure provide you some stuff to organize by department. Something I faced was, well, this is going, you know, to get a compromise with my Azure security area. Okay? Which is something that I don't like. So I don't like to change or to have a compromise between my security and my cost, right? So I need to keep these two things completely separate. This is why they essentially define, you see, very simple, so department with subscription ID and the owner, right? That's it. And on top of that, they are going to select, load the subscription, everything like that, the period, all they wanted to get from the cost with statistic, everything, and with that just execute. and they get all the cost inside Microsoft Excel. Okay? This is going to be another question, quite important now. What kind of cost the lady likes to see? Because this, I spend a lot here, thinking about what exactly a financial department you really care about when we speak about cost. All right? So I can tell you very quickly. So first of all is total by department, so they can know exactly how much a department is going to spend. And second thing is total by region and by location. You know why? It's very simple. Because you have different departments, you have different projects around the world. Think big. It's just only big. You can be also smaller, okay? But in the same project, you may have different locations. So the central US, West US. And the people and the manager in this project, they are going to kill each other because they don't want to share anything or spend more money than the other. So you need to be very careful about splitting the cost even by region. So total by department and by region, total by department and location, and stop. These are the top topic for financial department. I'm going fast, but you can rewatch the session and get the notes, everything later. So, second point, can you have a discount from Microsoft? Yes, you can. Okay, some people are not aware about that, okay? But you can actually go to Microsoft and say, Microsoft, I'd like to have a discount. I'm using Azure. I'd like to have a discount. How you can do that? You can do that using the price sheet here. You can download from the Azure portal. That's really important. And you see here the part number, and you have a unit price. This is actually how much you are spending for each part number of product in your cloud. And you need to map this with your usage. Right? And you will see what kind of resources are more used by you. And this is another topic as well. I can speak hours for this kind of stuff, but honestly, we don't have now. But first exercise, use policy, restrict your Azure cloud on specific usage. Why? Because if you limit the guys using specific virtual machine family, all this kind of stuff, you can go to Azure, to Microsoft, and say, guys, we want a discount for F family machine. Because this is what we are using now. That's it. They cannot give you a discount for everything in Azure, but they can give you a discount for some specific part you are using Azure. This is why it's so important, okay? Security, that's my topic. Okay? I love working in security, okay? These are the best tool you can use that are all free. The best tool you can use in Microsoft Azure to perform security testing, okay, which is something you need to, okay? And penetration testing for web application, Burp Suite for web application. This bad guy is able to do almost everything. Scanning port, Wireshark. You know about Shark? This is intrusion detection system. And Logstalgia is something that I truly, truly love. I will show you why I truly love. And first of all, you need to have a dedicated team for security and resources. I have a subscription for security. That's it. There is a Kali Linux in there, everything. When people need to check for a solution, we are going to use this subscription, peering and attack the system and do everything we need internally. So you need a good team. And for good team, of course, is a team formed by bad guys. They cannot be good guys. Of course, there are people that really enjoy, destroy, attack, all this kind of stuff. So you need to have a bad guy inside your security team. But this is very important. I don't see companies almost do these kind of things. In case you need outsourcing for security, this is a must for Azure. We also use outsourcing for security. Okay? Use different company every time, each time. Never do the same penetration testing wherever it is using the same company. This is a massive mistake. Okay? Always different company. This is a must. So, speaking about security, networking. Networking, this is a statement, again, is the core of Azure. You need to be sure about a good understanding about networking and how to use networking in Microsoft Azure. So something I can tell you is networking, this I'm telling you by experience, is working by region. So this is a kind of scenario that you can just look about, okay? I don't know about your Azure infrastructure right now, okay? But this is very practical thing to use networking. So splitting by region, you see a corporate subscription, different subscription for different department, whatever, and you see the different level by region for the different VNet and so on, and so go down. So the most important thing is this area as well, the IP schema, okay? Mean that when you create a VNet, to create a subscription or everything like that, something really important is you need to be sure about how people and the company is using IP inside Azure, okay? You need to have a policy or something about IP schema. Even because, also because at some point the subscription may start to speak each other. You need to do peering or VNet or everything like that. And you can have serious problem about the collision, all this kind of stuff. So absolutely, IP schema is a top. And second is security, about centralized security. What I mean is a good practice is to use centralizing firewalling, for example, FortiGate. Okay, it's pretty good firewall. You can put FortiGate. Okay, centralize your security there. Go for peering, and you essentially FortiGate is able to provide you any kind of supporting for subnet, VNet, everything like that. This is a very good point because network guys, they really know about the FortiGate or this firewall. But in the second is that you essentially have a full control in one single place about security, which is really good. The bad thing is, you always expose something from Azure. And people really, really love hit Azure. There are companies around the world, they do just hitting Azure just for fun or because money or everything like that. One of the most famous, most used attack in Azure is a DDoS attack, denial of service attack, okay? I'm going to show you something. I mentioned you about Nostalgia. I hope this is going to work. So essentially, using this tool, so essentially you are able to see how the packets are traveling around your network. Think about, you see the packet coming from the left of your IP addresses. These on the left are all the IP addresses. They are sending packet here. This is your website. They are hitting your web page, your endpoint, everything like that. So this is a pretty cool tool because sometimes you really need to have a look at just a vision about what exactly is going on in my network. People are complaining for the DDoS attack or everything like that. How the DDoS attack is going to look in this tool? This is how the DDoS attack is going to look. Okay? It's pretty bad. Okay? You see all the packets just hitting a single one point. Okay? So even using the good tools, you need the good tools, especially for very complex problems. DDoS is one of the most frequent problems in Azure about security. In Azure, you can enable a service, which is the DDoS job. Inside the VNet, you can enable the DDoS protection, and you can even scale to the standard level for DDoS protection. Okay? But using this one, you're also able to better understand how is going on during the DDoS attack. Another big topic, naming standard. This is always the same story. It was in Bespoke, it is in Azure, it is everywhere, it is in the code, everything. In Azure is a must. If you don't have a good naming standard in Azure, you are done, for sure. Okay? It's very bad way to use Microsoft Azure. So approach, I use Excel because with Excel you can easily search for value, everything like that. And people start getting lazy, I'm lazy, everything like that. So I start building stuff inside Excel, which is going to activate a kind of an agent, okay? You enable this agent, and from the agent, After the agent is enabled, you go in the Azure portal, you select a virtual machine, and boom, it's coming up what you need to use as, for naming convention, which is very, very fast. Okay? This is just an idea, okay? But this is very high productive because people get annoyed using naming standard, everything like that. So this is a very good thing because in a second, during job, during working, they boom, 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 rename machine, all this kind of stuff. That's pretty cool stuff. Now we had a chat about everything, all these kind of things, everything. So people maybe start thinking, wherever. So my naming standard is not really, okay, my VNet, okay. All this kind of thinking now, people with Azure, start. So I have a lack of consolidation right now. I'm going to solve this. Okay, so thank you, Nino, about telling me all these things, but what I'm going to do right now. Well, first of all, not all the people know that if you have an enterprise agreement, the support is free, totally free, okay? And Microsoft actually provides a very good support. So if you go in the portal, you go and look for support and add a ticket, you can create a ticket and ask for support. It's not just a technical support, it's also advisory. So if you need something, you don't know how to do something, or you don't understand something, you can create a ticket, an advisor ticket, and it's free, okay? So that is really critical, especially for a person like me that I have people sometimes calling me, and say, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, and we need to create this and that, okay? Just create a ticket. You can even create a ticket. Microsoft will help you on that, okay? It's free. We have. Just use it, okay? Second point is how to consolidate. So this is something good that helped me on better, understanding how to do things, everything like that. But second point is everything is here. I have virtual machine, virtual network, all. So what I'm going to do now? How I can manage the consolidation is essentially continuous deployment. Okay, you need that. And you have different options. You have ARM template, you have a PowerShell script, you have Azure CLI, and all Azure API, etc. So using ARM template, PowerShell, you are able to create your continuous deployment. You have your environment right now, you create all your script, ARM template, everything. You have your rule, you have your Azure policy, everything you need, your governance. You're just going to apply your governance in the ARM template, and you will deploy everything. And the environment is done, right? This is the only way to fix and consolidate your Azure cloud infrastructure. So there are a couple of points here that I like to show you is ARM template is really good. As PowerShell as well. There is a kind of security issue here, because as a security guy, I always think about security, is about the script injection, okay? Think about that. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. Never, even Microsoft. Don't trust anybody, I'm serious, okay? Because this is your home, okay? Don't let people come in and using stuff or change stuff. You need to control this, especially your employee. You have a PowerShell script running in your infrastructure. What do you know about a developer or someone that is going to change or put some script injection in your PowerShell? And you are running an automation account with the owner, inside a subscription. You don't even know what is going on. That's really, really critical. You know how many times I don't see a lot of people don't use in this kind of, don't think about that. Because people trust, it's my employee, right? So what I do is I apply a hash for any kind of thing is going to be executed in Microsoft Azure. It can be ARM template, it can be PowerShell script, everything, right? So if somebody is going to touch a file or ARM template or something, I'm going to get an alert. I'm going to stop this execution because I don't trust. I don't know what is going on. Why is change, right? So keep going. Advanced troubleshooting. For advanced troubleshooting, I mean that It's a big environment. You have different teams. You have different people. And when you start looking about a complex Azure infrastructure, think about how many things you have. Virtual machine, virtual network, subnet, any kind of stuff. Okay? And at some point, the people start saying, oh, Nino, so we need to organize the network in this subscription. All right, okay. So we need to check how many public IP addresses we have and we are using. We need to check how the firewall has been configured. Who is using port 80? Who is using 22? Who is using, what is the RDP port for Azure? Nobody. 3389. Okay? All this kind of stuff. That's very complex. You have some option. You cannot use the Azure portal, because using the Azure portal, you're going to be stupid or something. You're going to, oh, I cannot do that. It's a massive number of stuff. How are you going to do? Check each subnet? You know? What? You're going to spend 1 year to do something like that. So you start thinking about great scripting, PowerShell, and you're going to be mad. You know, it's scripting, all this kind of stuff. And after that, the network guy will come to you and say, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but I like also to check this and this. I go, no. To check also all this stuff, create a script. So this is really bad stuff. So what I did was Azure API. Boom. I'm going to use Azure API. So this is what I did. I built something that is going to use the Azure query, the Azure API, provide me any information I want about Azure directly in Microsoft Excel. That's what I did. Okay? And this is how I solved the problem. And I am very happy about that. So it's essentially, you download an Excel, because you can use the same functionality to download your subscription, okay? And you can use the subscription Excel sheet to provide a parameter here to execute this API. You get the point? Yeah? Okay. That's really cool stuff. So now there are more than 20,000 API. Okay? I can query everything, almost everything inside Azure. I can know how many virtual machine, IP address, firewall, any kind of stuff without any problem. How I'm going to use this? I'm going to give you a kind of example. I'm going to select and search here what I want to look inside Azure, and select which API I like to call or something. On top of that, I can apply different rule, which is even coloring everything. I like to call this like heuristic view. So it's going to do some stuff inside your Excel, coloring with the same number, everything like that. And what you are going to achieve, what I'm normally going to achieve, I'll give you a very quick example. This one, okay? So I list all the virtual network inside the subscription. Apply heuristic, colored with the same color, everything like that, boom! In my eyes, same IP schema in different building, okay? So this is something that's not good inside Azure, and you need to fix it, okay? You need to sort these kind of things. But you can do more. So what it is, you can group, I can group, I can, you see I can group for different kind of resources, everything like that. Very fast. And people enjoy use this. And then don't annoy me, which is fantastic, okay? They solve a network guys solve a problem like that in a second, okay? So this is really good. So I know in your mind the question is, okay, where is this tool? Is this one. The name is aziverso.com. I published the tool because people ask me to do that. It's free, so just download. It's free, open source. So if you even want to have a fun and collaborate about extending the tool, do it. I'm very happy about that. So speaking about the documentation, who likes great documentation? Yeah, Sandro is the only one. Ooh, another one, Sandro. This is a very good friend for you, this one. I deeply hate documentation, absolutely. Deeply. And trust me, In my company, even the CIO, nobody is going to ask me to create, well, no, the CIO, yes. Is the only my boss, the CIO, that's it. So it's very simple because I need to make happy one person only, okay? But, so the point is, I hate the documentation. So when I start, stuff with the company, everything, the first thing was, oh, we need to understand, Azure, what we have in Azure. We create the documentation. And, please, please. Somebody need to do that. You are the Azure lead here. You need to, please. So, guys, I was able to solve the problem quite quickly. And this is what you can do, is using this tool. If you know, I don't know if you know about this tool, it's CloudKit. Okay? That's amazing. I would build a monument to these guys. This is a monument. I'm serious. Okay? Using this tool, not expensive, cheap. Okay? Honestly, for the job, all the stuff. You just create your subscription inside CloudKit. You associate your subscription, your account inside Cloudin, and you're going to produce, you see this kind of documentation, Visio file, 2D, 3D, Word documentation is going to list everything you have in Azure, name of your subscription, the firewalling, how they are configured, all this kind of stuff. So everything. You take this documentation, go to your manager, everything, to the guys and say, voila, that's the documentation. You say, wow, that's fantastic, That's the point, Now people will see this video, I'm done. We say, I'm just joking. They know about that because, of course, I say to other people, guys, use Cloudin to document all your stuff, okay? And we also use Cloudin in automation, of course. So we build the report, document, because we need to keep the documentation, everything update. You can customize the document, everything like that. You have the template, you can create your template. It's pretty cool stuff. This is the most important thing you need to know, in my opinion, I just scratch the surface, I'm honest, just scratch. I can speak hour and days just for each one this topic, okay? But these are the most important area inside Microsoft Azure. If you want to be a good Microsoft Azure guy, this is where we need to be focused about, okay? So thank you for coming and hope you enjoy the speech.
Covey.co